All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the third time I'm attempting to record this video. I'm going to keep it fast. I'm going to keep it slick. I'm going to keep it smooth. You don't want to sit here for 15, 20 minutes anyways. So let's go ahead with this Monday Night Raw summary and analysis. As you can tell, I'm a little frustrated. It's late at night. I was interrupted once, and then I just got interrupted twice. If I am to be interrupted thrice, I'll be pretty dang sad. Let's get into it, guys. Monday Night Raw started off with Gunther and Damian Priest in an exchange of words. This exchange of words didn't last long until these guys wanted to physically hurt each other. And of course, the security guards come out. The security guard separation happens. You know that spot. You know the spot I'm talking about. It's a repetitive spot, but it works. it creates intensity for a feud, and that's what happened here with our world heavyweight champion and challenger Gunther. So that's how we're starting off Monday Night Raw with the security guard separation between Damian Priest and Gunther, which is equivalent to the benches clearing in baseball. And that's a random thought I had when I saw this opening segment. Haha, thought it was funny. This is my third time saying it, so I'm sorry if it's coming off a little dry. Our first match of the evening is Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov for the number one contendership to the Intercontinental Championship. The winner of this opening match from Monday Night Raw gets a Intercontinental Championship match against Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. And if you guys don't remember, Braun Breaker interrupted the main event last week, which was an Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov. So I guess the right thing to do here was to put him in a number one contenders match. I'm not nitpicking, but I'm just poking fun, laughing at it, pretty much. So Braun Breaker won a number one contenders match for the IC title by referee stoppage. He hit Ilya Dragunov with a move outside of the ring, and the referee deemed Ilya Dragunov unfit to continue the match. So Braun Breaker, the referee stoppage, gets the win, which is a unique finish that we don't see in pro wrestling very often. In my mind, in this case, in this situation at least, it was very MMA like. And the thing I like about it the most is it also protected Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov is an up and coming star, a growing star on Monday Night Raw. He's new to the main roster. You can't have him take too many pinfalls. And in this case, he wasn't taking a pinfall. The referee stopped the match before he can even formally lose. So Braun Breaker will take on Sami Zayn once again at SummerSlam. Ilya Dragunov is protected in what is a unique finish, a fairly unique finish. Yeah, pretty good opening match to Monday Night Raw. WWE is hitting different these days, and we all know it. Next, man, we have Sonya Deville defeat Lyra Valkyria. It looks like Lyra Valkyria has Kaden Carter and Katana Chance at her side because Sonya Deville ultimately has Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. So the odds are even. Nonetheless, man, Sonya Deville is still able to get the win as she slowly gets built up every week. We then had our newest Wyatt 6 interview of the week. And this time it was Nikki Cross. Very cool. Nikki Cross had a different vibe to her interview than Eric Rowan did, but it felt authentic, and it felt authentic to the character we've seen Nikki Cross play in the past, who's crazy and a psychopath and what have you. So it looks like we're going to get that with the Nikki Cross and the Wyatt 6, which I like. I love the Wyatt 6. I love how each character is being fleshed out week in, week out, and feels a bit real. It feels like their real selves. Love it. Another fantastic segment from the Wyatt 6, of course. We then get CM Punk coming to the ring, who doesn't waste much time and says he is now cleared to compete. Finally. Drew McIntyre then comes out to the ring for an exchange of words. He's excited for their match at SummerSlam, and CM Punk wants to get out of the ring and go kick Drew McIntyre's ass on the spot. But again, security guards separate CM Punk from Drew McIntyre. What's surprising here is Drew McIntyre does not engage with CM Punk. He just stands there, which is contrary to what he's been doing in the past when it comes to CM Punk. In the past, Drew McIntyre has bulldozed whoever was in his way to get to CM Punk, but he doesn't do that on this episode of Raw. Adam Pearce then comes out and explains, you guys will have your match at SummerSlam, but you guys will not lay a finger on each other until SummerSlam. And Drew McIntyre knows this, He already spoke with Adam Pearce, and that's why he's not trying to get to CM Punk, trying to put his hands on CM Punk. There's more. Adam Pearce announces that the special guest referee for this match will be Seth freaking Rollins, which is perfect. It ties it up. It puts a bow on it. It's going to be very exciting. Very exciting to see CM Punk and Drew McIntyre get in the ring at SummerSlam. Very excited. We've been waiting a long time to see this. So let's get it, man. SummerSlam is going to be super damn exciting. We then get a pair of backstage segments that lead to the main event. As we see earlier in the night, Judgment Day is dividing and searching for Jey Uso backstage. We then see another segment later in the show of Sami Zayn being interviewed, being asked about Braun Breaker and what he thinks about his now announced, now official SummerSlam match against Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. And before Sami Zayn could say too much, he hears something, he's distracted, so he goes and checks out what he's hearing, and the cameraman follows him. And ultimately, the Judgment Day is beating down main event Jey Uso 3-1. So Sami Zayn steps in and helps main event Jey Uso get back to his feet. Very cool. And of course, it leads to the main event. Like I said, we will have main event Jey Uso and Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn taking on the World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. Love it. Tag team awesomeness, right? Awesome main event. We'll get there though. So let's get into what happened before that. We had the Final Testament defeat Xavier Woods, Akira Tozawa, and Otis in what was a pretty good six-man tag team match. And of course, if the Final Testament did not get this win here, I would have been very concerned. But they did. So that's great. And before Otis and Akira Tozawa can even leave the ring, Chad Gable comes to the ring with the Creed brothers and basically formally offers Maxine, Otis, and Akira Tozawa a spot back in the Alpha Academy. Otis says no. And that leads to Chad Gable informing the Creed brothers to beat up Akira Tozawa and Otis. And they do so. And then the lights go out. And the Wyatt Six stop this beatdown from happening. Now, this really does make me want to see Chad Gable and the Creed brothers take on the Wyatt Six in a six-man tag team match at SummerSlam. They only have one more week to make that happen, and I don't know if they're going to want to rush that. They're probably going to wait to do that until the premium live event after SummerSlam. But I'm not going to lie, man. I want to see it. I want to see the Wyatt Six take on Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. It's going to be an awesome six-man tag team match. I'm very excited for it, guys. I want to see it at SummerSlam. I'm not going to lie, but I also know and respect their decision to slowly build up the Wyatt Six and slowly build up this match. But if they do it next week, they announce the match for next week and it's happening at SummerSlam, I'll be a happy guy. I'll be happy about that. Next, man, a couple more things. We had Sheamus interrupt and beat down Pete Dunne before he could even have his match against Big Bronson Reed. Now, if you guys don't remember from last week, Sheamus defeated Big Bronson Reed and Pete Dunne came and beat down Sheamus after the match. Sheamus comes in here and beats up Pete Dunne before he can even wrestle. So it looks like we're leading to Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. We'll see if that happens at SummerSlam. We'll see if that happens on Raw. We'll see where it happens, when it happens, and when it happens, I'll be there to enjoy it. Very excited for Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. It's hinted at in this episode, in this segment. Next, man, we see a backstage segment of Rhea Ripley grabbing Dominic Mysterio and saying, "Come on, let's go." Dom says, "Where are we going?" Rhea says, "To the ring." And the crowd pops. The crowd was electric tonight in Wisconsin. They were a fun crowd to see on TV, to hear on TV. Nonetheless, man, Rhea Ripley brings Dirty Dominic Mysterio in the ring. Says, "Liv Morgan, you want him? Come get him." So Liv Morgan comes through the crowd, right? She pisses off Rhea Ripley, specifically by saying, "Guys like Dom don't like girls like you. They like girls like me," right? We get this continuation of Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan pissing each other off. More so, Liv Morgan pissing Rhea Ripley off. And this leads to Dirty Dom getting on the mic, just roasting Liv Morgan, just saying he doesn't want anything to do with her. This makes Liv Morgan cry. The women's world champion is in tears on Monday Night Raw. It's not necessarily a good look, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad look. It goes with the storyline, it makes sense. But what Dirty Dom said to Liv on the mic in front of the whole audience was just enough to get back in Rhea Ripley's good graces. And she licks his face. It's like the seal of approval. Shit's getting nasty up in here with this love triangle, man. But it's funny, man. What can I say? This is pro wrestling. It gets a little crazy. But yeah, we'll see how Liv Morgan recovers from being in tears in front of the whole audience, and we'll see what's in store with this love triangle between Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. If I had to predict here, and this is a bold prediction, but I think Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest are on their way out of the Judgment Day. I'm sure a lot of you do too. So I can totally see Finn Balor, JD McDonough, maybe even Carlito, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio siding with Liv Morgan at SummerSlam and helping her retain that Women's World Championship. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, that's a hot take, but we'll find out what happens next Saturday at SummerSlam. All right, guys. The second to last match of the evening on a 3-hour Raw, which I think we're all tired of at this point. I would love for Monday Night Raw to go back to 2 hours. I don't mind a 3-hour weekly show. It's just a lot on Mondays. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot. Nonetheless, man, Zelina Vega gets the victory against Zoe Stark with the help of Lyra Valkyria, Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance to even the odds against this newly formed heel faction. And yeah, it was a must win victory for Zelina Vega, and she gets it against Zoe Stark. So, very cool to see. I love Zelina Vega. If WWE is introducing those mid card championships on Raw and SmackDown for the women, I would love to see Zelina Vega get one. And she gets a victory here to get her momentum back on track. We'll see how that goes. And last but not least, we get to the main event. Main event Jey Uso, Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, taking on the World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. And what's cool is, Jey Uso does that entrance through the crowd when he's in main events through the arena. He does it with Sami Zayn in this situation. And it's honestly a bit nostalgic. It makes you think about how far Jey Uso and Sami Zayn have come. I'm ruining the clip, aren't I? You see this entrance as main event Jey Uso and Sami Zayn coming through the arena, coming through the crowd. And it makes you think how far these guys have come as individuals. These guys were both on the bloodline together a couple years ago, and now they are running Monday Night Raw essentially. Jey Uso is the biggest babyface on Monday Night Raw, and Sami Zayn is the Intercontinental Champion. To see them have this entrance together, this moment together through the arena, through the crowd, it was pretty rewarding in terms of long term storytelling. I thought it was awesome. And then we get to the match itself, a tag team match for the ages, right? Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Finn Balor, JD McDonough. Fantastic wrestlers that are so damn over right now. And they go ahead and have a barn burner of a main event. Really good stuff here. But the match, well, we actually do get Jey Uso and Sami Zayn getting the victory against the World Tag Team Champions. And it's not the end of the world. I know people could be upset about that. I could see how people are upset about that. You got Finn Balor and JD McDonough, they're the World Tag Team Champions, and here they are losing in a tag team match in the main event of Raw. But I don't think it's that big of a deal because commentary went ahead and played on it. Like, the World Tag Team Champions were just pinned. The World Tag Team Champions were just defeated by Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. If you do that, if you make it make sense, if you give it weight, then it's good. Then it's solid. And of course, to close out the show, for the second time in a row on Monday Night Raw, to end out the show, we have Braun Breaker spear Sami Zayn ahead of their Intercontinental Championship match happening soon at SummerSlam. And you have all these stars on this show. You put together a nice 3-hour show that is admittedly long, but still very entertaining. You have Braun Breaker close out the show. You have the show open up with the World Heavyweight Championship feud, and you just go ahead and flex the roster you have on Monday Night Raw. And that's what I've been seeing. I feel like there is a surplus of stars on Monday nights. And Monday Night Raw has become must watch television again. And it's been must watch television for a bit now. Thanks to Triple H and company, thanks to long term booking, thanks to the people at TKO letting Triple H and company do their thing. Very exciting episode, guys. That's a summary, that's an analysis. We learn a lot more about what we can expect from SummerSlam and we progress storylines. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here.